All right, let's get into this. We talk a lot about smart cities, right? But what if the smartest thing a city could do isn't really about sensors or big data, but about trust? Today, we're going to look at this really amazing framework out of St. Louis that's completely rethinking how a city can work together, literally from the ground up.
And it all kicks off with this very powerful, very human question. It's not, how do we make a city more efficient or how do we optimize services? No, it's, how does a city heal itself? And right away, that frames the entire challenge as a community problem, not a technical one.
I mean, think about it for a second. In any city, you've got tons of different groups. Nonprofits, schools, city hall, neighborhood associations, and they're all trying to do good work. But so often their efforts get tangled up. It's not because they don't have good intentions, it's just a lack of coordination. Wires get crossed, important messages get lost, and that trust that really holds a community together, well, it starts to wear thin.
And that brings us to the core problem, which you can really think of as a city of crossed wires. It's this huge challenge of trying to get things done in a place that's just full of diverse people, diverse needs, and diverse voices.
So when that collaboration breaks down, what does it actually look like? Well, inconsistent messages fly around and just create confusion. Really important info, stuff people need to know, it just falls through the cracks. And when trust erodes, progress just grinds to a halt. The people who need help the most, the vulnerable communities, they often get left out of the conversation entirely. And you're left with this frustrating situation where a lot of good intentions just don't lead to good outcomes.
So how in the world do you untangle a whole city of crossed wires? It's not about sending more memos or having more meetings. Nope. It's about building a whole new system from the ground up. And this gets us to the big idea, an operating system for trust.
So the STL Civic Mesh OS. Think of it like the operating system on your phone or your computer. The thing that lets all your different apps talk to each other and work together smoothly. This system does that for an entire region. It creates a shared collective memory so that everybody is working from the same playbook, speaking the same language, and most importantly, pulling in the same direction.
And this is not just about cool tech. It's driven by this really powerful set of values. They call it the Prime Directive, and it is crystal clear. Number 1, protect children. 2, reduce harm. 3, increase trust. And 4, deliver visible wins that people can actually see and feel in their community. Everything the system does, every single action, is anchored to these 4 non-negotiable goals.
So here's how those values actually show up in practice. Every single message that comes out of this system is designed to be child-centered and culturally humble. But here's the key part. It's also trauma-informed. So what does that actually mean? Well, it means recognizing that, some people have had really bad experiences with institutions before. So the communication always uses predictable, calm structures. It avoids language that could make people feel blamed or ashamed. And it always includes clear, simple resources on how to get help. It's basically building psychological safety right into the DNA of how the city talks to its people.
Okay, so a system this ambitious, this thoughtful, it has to be incredibly complicated under the hood, right? Powered by some crazy AI or something? Well, this is where the design gets just so elegant. Let's take a look at the engine that makes this whole thing run.
The system's entire collective memory, its voice, its history, all of its rules, it all lives in simple spreadsheets. That's it, CSV files, that's the big reveal. This is the region's shared brain, and it's built on a technology that pretty much anyone can open up and understand. And think about why that is so important. It's radically accessible. It's democratic. It means the system isn't locked down by some big tech company. There's no expensive software, no vendor lock-in. The community literally owns its own operating system.
And this is a perfect example of how it works. This is a peek at the voice and language file. See those tone profiles? If you need to sound like a neighbor, the system knows to say something like, "Let's keep it moving." And to avoid all that insider jargon, if there's a crisis, it defaults to crisis calm. Just the facts, no scary speculation. This simple little table brings structure and consistency to the entire city's communication. It's brilliant.
The whole process is really straightforward. Step 1, the system pulls in data from those spreadsheets. Step 2, smart templates use that data to put together the right information for the right audience. And step 3, the system spits out a consistent, safe, and helpful message every single time.
And this quote just perfectly captures the tone that this entire system is built to create. It's that St. Louis real voice, practical, direct, and totally focused on moving forward, together.
Okay, so we've seen the engine. Now let's look at what it actually makes. How does this system turn that simple data into dialogue that works in the real world?
This before and after comparison just makes it so clear. So the old way, a city worker is under pressure, they fire off a quick, jargon-filled email that maybe causes more confusion than it clears up. Now, the Mesh OS way, the system helps them generate a calm, neighborly summary that automatically, and this is key, automatically includes critical safety info and a statement about how the project impacts kids.
And the magic behind that is all in the templates. It's not really magic at all. The system just pulls variables, like the project name or that child impact statement, straight from the spreadsheets we looked at. This makes sure that nothing important ever gets forgotten.
And that one simple engine can create this huge range of tools. It's not just for public updates. It can generate meeting agendas, guides for community workshops, and even statements designed to help repair conflict between different groups. It's like an entire toolkit for civic health.
So when you step back and look at the whole thing, you realize this is so much more than just a clever communication tool. This isn't just about being efficient, it's about dignity. It's a system that's designed to treat every single citizen and every neighborhood with a baseline of respect and care. It's a new kind of social contract. It's a promise to the whole city.
And that promise is just perfectly captured in the St. Louis commitment statement. This is the heart of the entire project. This isn't some mission statement that just hangs on a wall. It is the actual code that the entire system runs on. No blame, no shame, clear steps, real follow-through. That right there is the operating system in action. It's a vision for how a city can actually learn and build and heal together.
Which kind of leaves us with one final thought to take away. This model was built for St. Louis, but the idea behind it is universal. So the real question is, what would be possible if your city, if your community had a shared memory that was designed from the very beginning to build trust?